Team Nation, I'm Sam here again from A Bear and a Bee Books, and today I'm filming the final day of January. It's my final video for my tops of 2017. This final category is quick reads. So in quick reads I've included things like novellas, children's books, short fairy tales, graphic novels, things like that. So these typically are books that you can read in either one setting or within, say, a 48-hour period. I know many of us have our annual goals for reading challenges, so it's always nice to have some books on hand that you know you can get through quickly. Man, my glasses. So the first book I wanted to talk about today is one of my Doctor Who fairy tales. This is called The Garden of Statues, and this is from my box set. It's really cute. It comes with a bunch of different fairy tales, and they all come in these little hardcover books. They run about 30 to 40 pages each. They have some beautiful little illustrations within them. You can see this here. This is written by Justin Richards, illustrated by David Wardle. Now, I had to put this one on the list. I've read a bunch of them so far. I'm pacing myself on the collection because it's nice just to kind of break up your reading. They take maybe 20 minutes to read. They're nice little fairy tale stories to sneak in between your novels. I've mentioned this in one of my other videos, but the very first Doctor Who episode I ever watched was The Weeping Angels, and this is kind of the background or origin story, if you will, about the Weeping Angels. It was just so much fun. And the next book I wanted to talk about, The Little Book of Inner Peace. This is Simple Practices for Less Angst, More Calm. This is by Ashley Davis Bush. This I read at a very appropriate time. If you're ever having a moment of like going through something in your life and you're stressed or anxious, this is a great little book. It just goes over some daily practices and things you can do to kind of regain your calm and regain stability in your life. And I actually was already using one of these practices and didn't even realize it, and then I picked up another one and I found it really helpful, and now I can call upon the little practice I learned in here. So I think this is a book that I'll go back to time just to get a refresher. It was a quick read, nothing too overly complicated, but definitely some beneficial tips. Next is The Incredible Journey by Sheila Burnford, and this was actually one of my childhood books. I don't know that I ever finished reading it. I wanted to pick it up. I'm going to be doing shortly on my channel a series where I talk about catching up with children's classics or children's books so that I can share them in the future with my daughter. But I love animals. My puppy is actually sitting just off camera right here. You can't see her, but I grew up with animals. The animals are something I'm very passionate about. This book is just wonderful for any animal lover, though I do have to warn you, you probably will cry. Don't worry, it's nothing like too bad in the end, you know? But there are some moments that brought tears to my eyes, and it's very similar to the movie adaptation that was done for this, and I thought that they did a really good job with the movie adaptation. So if, like me, you enjoy reading a book and then watching the adaptation, this is a great selection. Next is my first full reading of a Ray Bradbury book. This is The Halloween Tree, and this is just wonderful for children or adults. I feel it's a wonderful tale that takes place on Halloween night. So if, like me, you like to have some favorites to go to for the different seasons, I would certainly recommend. Next up is Cheerful Weather for the Wedding by Julia Strachey. This book is a nice little novella. It's comical, but it wouldn't be comical if you were her, I suppose. She is getting ready to get married to someone she obviously doesn't want to marry. She's upstairs drinking by herself. I'm laughing because it is amusing as a reader, and you think like how awful, like how should it be on your wedding day, and how not at all this is. You know, the time period it's set in, it's almost like women didn't really have a choice. And they just kind of went along with the motions. There is another gentleman in this that kind of makes you think, what if she had gone a different direction? But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed. Fast, quick read, good writing. Next is my second book that made my favorites from Elizabeth Sanze Holding. This is The Strange Crime in Bermuda, and I absolutely just love her writing. I'm not a big mystery person, though maybe in the future I will be, because I fell in love with her books. I find that with mysteries I lose interest sometimes because they're all about the plot, and I care more about the setting and the characters when I read, and she focuses a lot on her protagonists. So in this one, I was getting so worried about the protagonist in the book, and I didn't know what was going to happen to him, and I was so concerned, and I just started getting like anxious for him. It is a really interesting story. The mystery is good, I think. Again, I don't read a lot, so I'm not the person to go to for mysteries, but I think if you like literary fiction and you like books that focus more on the characters than on the plot, then you might enjoy this. The next book I would like to mention is Holding Heaven by Jerry B. Jenkins, and the art is by Ron DeChani. And this was just a great little book to read around the Christmas season. It takes place, it's mostly about like the nativity, like Mary, Joseph, and Jesus, but it focuses more on Joseph's perspective. And I always wondered how it would be for him, for Mary to come to him and tell her what she told him. And it was really interesting to see his perspective. And the art, it really enriched the story. There's only a couple, but they are full length. And they're just beautiful, if you can see that there. Finally, I have my favorite graphic novel of the year. This is This One Summer by Jillian Tamaki and Mariko Tamaki. And I just fell in love with this. As a child, of course, you grow up looking forward to summer and being out of school. At least most of us did. I know I sometimes took summer classes anyway because I was a total nerd and I liked school, but I did still look forward to summer. I used to spend a lot of time at the water. My father was a fisherman when I was a baby. I grew up by a river. We always went to the beach. Water was just kind of part of my childhood. So I really enjoyed this because it is set by the beach and it deals with some heavier adult issues but seen through the lens of the child. I kind of liken this to it's almost like reminded me of the Wonder Years, the TV show, but from a female point of view. And I really enjoyed this. I thought that the art was really beautiful. Show you there. I love purple, first of all, and this whole book is done in like shades of purples and grays, and I just found it really soothing. Well, that's all for my tops of 2017. I'm excited to see which ones will make my list for 2018. Go ahead and click the subscribe button if you've enjoyed my content today. Also, please feel free to friend me on Goodreads. I'm on there almost all the time. Also, I have my Twitter link. Feel free to follow. And I hope if you enjoyed your time with me, I'll see you back here again. Thanks so much for being with me. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.